How can I breathe? Motherfuckers in jail is working out, trying to eat the best they could with what they have and reading. So who are we outside to say you can't be healthy if you're a gangster?
That's Styles P. As you know, Styles P is the founder of Juice for Life. Him and the Locks have this platform that they've been doing for a few years now. Rich Nice and I go to it all the time.
In Brooklyn.
It's just a whole movement, a mentality about eating healthy and how that affects us and our demographic. This first day with Kelly Kincaid, ladies and gentlemen. Kelly Kincaid is here.
Good morning, Sway.
Yeah.
You know what I find a little known fact? Our first aid on the show was about living well and healthy because Styles P came in and made the shakes and juiced and drink. That was our in the studio. So that is one of our priorities.
What year was that?
2011.
2011, ladies. So
Yeah.
we've been on this for a minute.
You've been on it.
Okay.
See, that's why you got that one-arm catch.
That's what you see me, baby. Now, our special guest here
Our
today.
special guest, he's a holistic health practitioner, a wellness coach, someone, an advocate just for healthy living and living long. I want to welcome to the show Supa Nova Slom. Thank you for coming. I've been following you for a long time, so I'm glad we finally were able to make it happen through your publicist to get you here, because one of the reasons I wanted to have you here, holiday season is here.
Yes.
And as we see, people posting on social, I overate, I ate this, that, and that. I think that people go, well, I'm gonna
tell Tracy business.
Right.
I'm gonna wait until January and then I'm gonna start fresh. And
Right.
I'm like, no, let's start now.
Yeah.
And I thought it was important to bring you to the show today so we can get some healthy tips on how can we live a healthy life during the holidays, and
Right.
how can we detox for better living.
Right. Well, I think that you are on point. I want to just say it's a blessing to be here, sis, and Sway and family, Tracy.
And shout out to Hawk Islam.
Shout out to Hak Islam. And also, Chris Kazi Rose, my partner in the Greens, he wanted me to shout you out.
Tell him I said what up.
Yeah,
man.
salute. So, I think the main thing we have to focus in on is the mind state, right? Value of self. And that's, my cornerstone of wellness coaching is empowering people with valuing themselves. Because you can get the fundamentals of eating and exercising, and you can yo-yo, right?
Mm-hmm.
What makes it stick 365 is the commitment to your value. So when you say, I drive a Maybach, or I wear Gucci, I have Prada, I have diamonds in my necklace, right? That's a value that you establish outside yourself to connect with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we can have people internally bling with the consciousness to know that they're already coming with value. And then so when you're eating foods, relationships, thinking, movement, it's adding over your value in time.
They all connect.
Right?
Yep.
And see, over time, you want to be, we only have a limited amount of time here, right?
Yeah.
So if we actually add on and build on our value, then we actually quantify our time.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that's what I started, I try not to be dogmatic with it. I want to be encouraging with establishing the principle of value. Once we establish that and we can get you excited about value, then we can begin the journey of wellness.
Can I ask you a question? And by the way, Supernova Slom is known as hip-hop's medicine man, ladies and gentlemen. He's also the author of the book, The Remedy, the 5-Week Power Plan to Detox the Body, Combat Fat, and Rebuild Your Mind and Body. So you could get his book now, right?
Yeah, you can get it. Actually, I have it as free download on our site, supamegafoods.com. That's www.supamgafoods.com. You can do it as a pre-download.
Before I ask this question, I want to get people who are trying to figure it out, eating habits, want to make yourself healthier. He's a health and wellness life coach. How do you reverse the effects of bad practices that you've had over the years? And my question to you is, a lot of why we eat, how we eat, and our habits is kind of indoctrinated from an early age.
Yes.
We're programmed to think in a certain way, in a dysfunctional way. How do you peel back that programming? Because you got to peel back that programming first.
So, good.
I want to spot. Yeah.
Good story.
In addition, I want to
Okay.
talk about your beginnings.
Yes, and I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
See, we just in sync here.
Yes.
Okay.
Like your one hand catch, bro.
You saw that, right? Yeah, I do that all the time, too.
So this is it. Shout out to my mother, Queen Afua. She's a best-selling author of health and wellness books for the last 50 years.
Wow, your mom too?
Queen Afua, yes, that's my mother. Yeah,
Wow.
Queen Afua. So my mother and father were vegans before I was born. Right, so I was conceived in that the wellness environment. Now, this is the 80s in the hood. Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy, right?
Okay.
You know, during the quarter ward and government cheese era, you know, crack cocaine era, right?
Right.
So I was born and raised in the holistic environment from birth, right?
Wow.
Now I'm going to bridge what you want me to share, and I'm going to bridge what Sway was asking. So my mother and father, once they divorced, my father succumbed to crack cocaine. So one side of my development was chlorophyll, building, healing, restoration. Chlorophyll is a plant protein. It's good for rejuvenation of the body. The other side was crack. So I was raised in the extremes of what I call the chlorophyll and crack. I have a song called Chlorophyll and Crack, you know, and it's actually talking about my development, right? And so my mother, you know, I'm you know, at a young age, I'm eating, you know, no dairy, you know, no meat, you know, greens every day, fasting and doing all types of things that's hip now. That was, you know, I used to go to school with sprout sandwiches and 7th grade bread and had to fight every day.
They thought you were weird.
The
I
Ezekiel bread.
fought
Over what you ate.
every day. Like, you know, the homies would have their junk food. I'd bring out an apple and I'd have a fight. So I became a wellness warrior early because I had to fight. So I think my passion around health and wellness was because I had to be a fighter.
So when we play back that Styles P thing talking about it ain't gangster to eat
The
bad.
most gangster thing you could be is one that is a warrior or a G for your wellness and your
Hell
health,
yeah.
right? And so I had to learn that at 7, 8 years old and fighting every day in school. But let me show you how this works about development. So when my parents divorced, I would sneak away from my mom would give me every day. She would give me what's in the Super Mega Green formula is the plant proteins, right? So with the chlorella, the spirulina, the alfalfa, dandelion. So sometimes me and my brother and sister would try to get out the house with it, and she'll run down the block and get the school bus, open the door, and say, "Don't forget your greens," in front of all the kids. So she was militant. Queen Fu was militant.
Yeah.
But check it out though. The thing about it was, you know, the pain of dealing with, and I'm gonna let you know how sometimes. Failed relationships allow you to form certain habits. So the fact that my parents divorced, I felt like I lacked sweetness, right? The sweetness of seeing my parents together.
Yeah.
So I formed another relationship with sugar, junk food. And for those that don't know, you know, sugar from its natural place is from natural leaf fructose. It's from fruits. But when you isolate it and you heat it up, it becomes an addictive substance. That's the white processed sugar. So I would be sneaking away eating all this candy, you know, and that's how I would kind of deal with the fact that, you know, I go see my pops in the project. My mom's in the brownstone, pops in the projects. Go see him, walking. Hey, Dad, walk in the room. He's shooting up. And so that
in
triggers.
front of you?
He's shooting up.
At what age?
I'm at 7, 8.
And you was watching your dad shoot up?
And I'm like, you know, and I'm leaving him and going back to mom's with the holistic health and wellness and the meditation and stuff. So that's the development. So part of the how I medicated myself with what I call the sugar crack.
Okay.
And a lot of candy, right? I ate it so much, I think that what saved me from having diabetes was my mother's with the green lifestyle, right? Because that kind of, every time I destroyed myself with the processed sugar, the greens restored, because the greens, the chlorophyll puts back in the oxygen that the sugar robs from the blood, you know? So it restores it. So check this out, Sway, about that programming. So I had my mother's first selling book, her first book was a bestseller, it was called Heal Thyself. Even though I was raised as a vegan from the womb and I grew up in a holistic environment, my relationship with the processed white sugar, that's how I medicated myself. I needed sweetness, right? It showed up in my skin. It showed up in me breaking out and stuff. It showed up in me having short, mood swings. It's really just having, like sugar gets you hyping and you get depressed, right? And I ate so much of it that I remember I was going crazy in the street. Most of us coming up in 90s now. At that point, I'm a teenager and I'm doing my thugging out phase and gangster phase. I got shipped down south, not away from moms. I had to heal thyself. And what I did was, I was tired of my face breaking out. I was tired of having low energy. I remember my mom always said, the greens restore your energy. The greens will cleanse you or fortify you. They'll build what the toxins will put. So now was my time not to only have mom give me the greens every day. I'm away from her. I had to heal thyself. And that how I address Sway my program and about my destructive program. Even though I was blessed with the so-called silver spoon of wellness, I had my own journey with it. Like I had my own awakening with the wellness, right? So what happened was, I took a gallon, and I talk about it in the Remedy book. I took a gallon of distilled water, and I remembered over the years, Mom would give me different the greens in different formulas. She'll give me the wheatgrass sometimes. She'll give me the chlorella, the spirulina, the dandelion, the alfalfa. All the chlorophyll greens, they work as phytonutrients. They work to restoring the immune system to its optimum state, cleansing the bloodstream. Not only does it detoxify these different plant proteins, but it also feeds. So you're not only cleansing, but you're building at the same time you're cleansing. So I said, you know what? I'm tired of this sugar. I'm tired of, even though I didn't eat meat, but I was a junk food addict, right? I ate too much, what I call a starchitarian. I was too much starching. Now I was a starchitarian masquerading as a vegetarian or a vegan.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, because you look at in that mind state. Even though if you look currently real quick, if you look at most people's shopping carts when they eat in Whole Foods, look at their carts. You're seeing a lot of fibrous foods, or you're seeing a lot of probably packaged things. Even though they're in Whole Foods, you're seeing a lot of starch-based carbs. You know what I'm saying? And so they are in the wellness lane, but most of them are starchitarians. So anyway, for my personal story. I took the gallon. I said, you know what? I have to heal thyself. I took a tablespoon of the chlorella, tablespoon of the spirulina, the alfalfa, the dandelion, the root ginger. I put a powder of that, and I shook it all up. And I just started sipping on it, for 7 days. And every day my cravings for the sweets changed. Because again, I started with the will and desire. Yeah. Like I said, mind state. When I first started, I said I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yep. I was sick and tired of using my father as an excuse for where I have ended up, even though I had the resources to be a better example for myself. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna be the example, right? And every day I kept sipping on a gallon, from morning to night, just 8 ounces here, 16 ounces here, and then. By the end of the week, I had no more cravings for the sugar, for the junk food.
It doesn't sound like it tasted good though.
At that point, now check this out how deep it was. I had so much sweets. I extended the metaphor of taste such to the extremes where it was gonna offend my health, where I was no longer looking and seeking for taste. I was seeking for remedy. Right. I was seeking that. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Right. And so whatever it took, whatever it tastes like, I was willing to be disciplined on the journey. And this is what I'm really trying to get to, Sway, and says, is that that was everybody has their point. Like I can come here today, think right, eat right, but you're gonna have your man in the mirror, woman in the mirror point where you're just tired, of feeling at that low state, and you want to do something about it. And so that's what I began to do, and I became that's where when you said a chlorophyllian, I became a chlorophyllian, which is one that consumes 80 to 100% of plant-based foods, and I really just changed even my vegan vegetarian mind state away from how I was even raised to more discipline with the greens. And that was my personal story.
That's an amazing story. Supernova Slom. What's your social media? Because I want our citizens who are interested in health and wellness and living a healthier life. Maybe his story you could relate to, because I know I can, especially all of us when it comes to sugar. What's your social media?
Supernova Slom, SupaNova SLOM, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and www.supermegagreens or supermegafoods, supamegafoods.com.
Okay, so you brought something for us to taste. We're gonna taste it. Hold on, we're gonna come back and taste it live on the air. But I want people who are interested in living a healthier life through your diet to call up, especially if you're having a hard time adjusting. He just gave a great story about what he did to get to this point. 888-742-3345.
And now, more First Aid with Kelly Kincaid on Shade 45.
Okay, we got Supernova Slom here. He's the author of the book, The Remedy, the 5-Week Power Plan to Detox the Body, Come Back Fat, and Rebuild Your Mind and Body.
Yes, Sway, and it's important to have him here. The book Remedy, you come from a story. You grew up in a vegetarian, a holistic house. There's a lot of people who grew up in a bad eating habits, where obesity rates in the U.S. and in the world alone are millions of people.
Right.
Childhood obesity is large as well. You talk about Detox in the book, which is free. All you got to do is subscribe and get the download. I wanted you to briefly talk, because I want the citizens to, ask their questions about detoxing. That's hard for a lot of people because when you think of detox, it's get up, get out, get rid. What's something for somebody who's normally eating fried chicken and fast food? What's the simple step to start? Our body is 70 to 80% water.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the bottom line, right? And so think about flowing, right? And a sewage, the ability for your plumbing in your home, right? You can flush the toilet because there's movement, right? There's fluid. The body works the same way. The old acronym that the doctor would say, eat your fruits and veggies. The reason why that was a key thing was because it contains water, right? That's why it was always encouraged to eat more fibrous foods, because you have the keeps the water flowing. So if a person is a standard person, the first step I would take is hydrate. Rest in peace, Dr. Dick Gregory. He really emphasized the importance of drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
It's the closest to who we are.
Okay.
So if we could just commit daily from AM to PM to drink at least a gallon of water, between 8 to 12 ounces every hour to 2 hours. A simple start. If you need to put a half a lime or lemon in it, just to kind of flavor it, that's the first step to alkalizing your body.
Okay.
Right?
So
go ahead. How many steps? Because we got like 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the first step to alkalizing your body. And with now, the flow, you would start to naturally, the more water you have, your body would start to rid the toxins naturally, because it has this natural element that's already inside of it. It's a complement. So that's the first thing you can just commit to. I am a water being, mostly water. So the more movement I have in my body, the more I can move it. Now, the point about detoxing, everything has a space, gets clogged up after a while. You have to just release the space, and that's the mental space. That when we brothers, we go to the gym, we work out, right? That resistance training that you release. Everything needs a release, right? And so the body every 30 days should go to some type of release. Some people take a 4-day release, 7-day, or 21-day. You don't have to. You may not take a 21-day cleanse, right? But just a 1 to 3 day. Just having more fluids, more water, maybe more fruits and vegetables as a start. Just to start your process. But let's say give yourself 72 hours just to drink more water. Eat more fruits and vegetables as a first step. And I think that's a committed step that you can learn. The key thing is learn you in the 72 hours. Don't rush to the 21 days, because it's the hip thing to do. How can I learn me in 72 hours by drinking more water? How do I feel? Was it too much? Do I need to drink more or less? And yeah, yes, brother.
Okay. Well, what it is I don't want you to give up all the game.
Okay. Yeah.
I want people to buy the book. I want people to go on your platforms and learn it through you, not in a 25-minute conversation, but we want to introduce them to this ideology and have them follow you. So I want to give out your social media again. Is at
Supernova Slom, SupaNovaSlom, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah.
And then let's pour some of this juice while I take some of the call.
Okay, so
because you brought us some juice today.
Yeah. So show me that, Sway. So what I'm gonna have our factory. My by the way, I'm gonna plug the family of my spiritual brother Chris Kazi Roll, which is a good friend of yours, Sway.
Yes.
And my brother Ali Terrain, my blood brother. We formed a company. We're the youngest black hip hop entrepreneurs that have our own wellness supplement company, organic based wellness supplement company called Super Mega Foods. And I will be sending all of you all this very shortly.
Okay.
So I didn't have extra bottles today. So what I did was I juiced this morning some organic pineapple, banana, and mango juice with a tablespoon of the mega greens for you all, for the whole tribe here and citizens.
Pour me some. While you're doing that, and then we need quick questions and very quick answers. Mike from North Carolina, what's your quick question? Go.
How everybody doing, man?
How you doing, Mike?
I'm just hanging in there, man. I got addiction to sodas, man. What's a good start, man? I be wanting soda throughout the day, man. that's really where my weight comes from, just drinking a lot of sodas, man.
Yes, brother.
I don't eat a lot.
Got you, brother Mike.
I drink a lot of sodas.
Okay, so the first thing I would tell you to do is you get a half a lime or lemon, and you have 16 ounces to 32 ounces of water. You have that every other hour. Okay. Now, by naturally having the water in the lime or the lemon, it will start to put more oxygen back into your body, and it will start to dissolve the concentration of the sugar concentration that is in the soda. So just by continuing to hydrate with the water throughout the day, especially with a nice lime or lemon, you will start to feel more energy, more clarity. And I would just encourage you over time, you may not go to extreme by cutting all soda out, but you just replace it with the urge to have more water.
Mike, you got that game, okay, Mike?
Hey, man, thanks, man. Kelly, thanks for the show, man. We love it.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for listening. Please get work. Let's get this book, The Remedy.
All right.
It's free.
It's free, man. Make sure you go to his platform.
Yes.
Danielle from Pennsylvania. Quick question, quick answer. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I just started drinking flavored water today, and I was wondering, is there like a combination you mix up throughout the week, or do you stick to one sort of water every day, or how do you do it?
Well, when you can fortify your water with like I said, the lemon, the lime, and also you can check out the mega greens. I have a plant-based protein called the Supa Mega Greens, which is a combination of plant proteins that helps to detoxify the body, but also build in the protein in the body, and helps to rejuvenate the skin, hair, and nails. And you can add that to your water. I would recommend maybe a tablespoon of that, especially if you can't get the chance to maybe have fresh vegetable juices daily. It's a good way to get those phytonutrients and micronutrients. And you can check that out, brother, on the supermegafoods.com.
Supermegafoods.com. So you see he learned. You see what's going on right now. He's picking up on my rhythm here. There you go. Okay.
Wait, while we're getting to the next caller,
Yeah.
a lot of celebrities, Erykah Badu, Common, Jay Electronica, Busta Rhymes, have all gone through your mentorship as far as healthy living.
Yeah, Erykah Badu, shout out to my big sis. I got my start working with her and other celebrities with wellness, traveling with her on the road. She took me on the road when she first came out doing the Baduism tour up into the Mama's Gun tour for 2 years. And so I can almost be called, like, you have the midwives. I could be called a mid-husband because I was helping to restore the nutrients for Seven, for her and Andre. Yeah, sometimes, I remember when her and Andre would perform together and do shows, and sometimes they'd leave their green juices in the dress room. I would literally run to the stage. No, but you're so militant. Dre, drink your juice. Erykah, drink your juice. And they'll hit the stage. And during that process, I got to, Erykah would perform with Busta Rhymes and Common and so forth. And Busta Rhymes was the first one because every time I saw him split star back in the tour, I used to always give them the greens, and they would be like, he'd be like, man, you like. Busta said, "You like hip hop's medicine, man." I said, "Exactly."
And that's where you got the
and that's
name,
where I
baby?
got it from.
There it is.
So,
Okay.
I'm not sure Busta's gonna remember because he has had a lot of Cavassier since I gave him the greens.
Oh man, don't say that, man. All right, man.
Salute to big homie.
Salute to you, Supernova Slom, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get the book, The Remedy, the 5-week power plan to detox the body, combat fat, and rebuild your mind and body. Thank you, Kelly Kincaid.
Thank you so much. Just be conscious during the holidays. You can follow me on all socials, Kelly Kincaid, KELLYKINKAID.
How'd you like the
coming.
greens?
It's really good.
Yeah, pour me some more too.